Yo, what's up, Culers? Welcome back to the African Culer channel once again for a full Barca news roundup, because today we shall be discussing a whole lot that has been happening over the course of the last few days. Well, the last few days have actually been a roller coaster because a lot of things have been going on in the world of Barca. From the departure of Sergi Roberto, who had a press conference held in his honor on Tuesday, I shall also be sharing my thoughts about the abysmal performance that Barca gave against Monaco in the GAMPER Trophy game on Monday, as well as the latest on what is going on with Barca's pursuit of Nico Williams. So all of that and more coming your way. So sit back, relax, guys, and let's get straight to it. But first of all, I want to begin by talking about Julian Araujo, because the Mexican defender has completed his move to English Premier League side Bournemouth. The move was completed on Tuesday, and as we discussed in the previous video, it was for the expected sum of 10 million euros. So Barca making a quick profit on their initial investment of 4 million euros that was previously paid to Los Angeles FC for the signing of Araujo. So Barca have turned out a quick profit of 6 million euros by selling Araujo to Bournemouth. However, just as we discussed in the last video, we were expecting that Barca would have included a sell-on clause or a buyback clause in this deal for Araujo. But now that the deal has been confirmed, we now know that there is no buyback clause or sell-on clause included in that deal to sell Araujo to Bournemouth, which means that Barca has lost full control of the player's future. He has gone to Bournemouth. The fee is 10 million euros, no more, no less. Whether Bournemouth sells him later on, it doesn't matter at this point, because Barca are not going to receive a penny from a future sale of Araujo, and Barca do not even have the option of bringing Araujo back to the club. So that is it for Araujo and Barca. Araujo has joined Bournemouth, 10 million euros deal, no buyback clause, no sell-on clause, and that is all Barca will get for the deal. But I also have to add that Barca have sold themselves short once again here, because 10 million euros for an English Premier League side is peanuts, bro. Right now, we have sold Araujo for peanuts. And once again, I question Barca's ability to sell players, because we have shown over the years that we suck at selling players for a reasonable fee. However, a more high-profile departure was confirmed on Tuesday. In fact, we actually knew about that since on Sunday, because Sergi Roberto announced on Sunday that he would be leaving the club. In fact, we have actually been thinking that Roberto is not going to stay at the club. We saw it that his number has actually been handed over to the new signing Dani Olmo. So that was just one of the signs that Roberto would not be staying. And on Sunday, he confirmed it himself that he would be moving on from Barca after almost 20 years at the club. And now on Tuesday, after that abysmal performance in the GAMPER Trophy, which I'm going to talk about just shortly, Barca actually did the honorable thing by organizing a press conference and holding a send-off event for Roberto in the club's offices. It was attended by his family as well as his teammates. We also saw some Barca legends in attendance, with the likes of Piqué, the likes of Puyol and Xavi, all in attendance to honor Roberto on his last day as a Barca player. So farewell to the legend Sergi Roberto. He has done his best for the club. He's one of the players that has always given his all. He has always given 110% whenever he has been called upon to put on the Barca shirt and defend the club's colors. Roberto has always given his all. I know he has had ups and downs during his time at the club, but one thing that can never be questioned about Roberto is his attitude and his commitment. Roberto showed immaculate example during his time as a Barca player, and he deserves a lot of commendation for what he has done. Now he will be leaving the club and he will be looking to join another team. And Culers, we just have to wish the former captain all the best of luck in his career, and we can always remember the memories that he left while putting on the shirt, because how can we forget that magical goal that completed, in my opinion, the greatest comeback in the history of football, in that 6-1 win against PSG, and also that mazy run in the last minute of El Clasico at the Bernabeu that set up Messi for that winner. So a lot of memories that Roberto has left at the club, and now it is time to move on. So the chapter is closed, but wishing all the best of luck to Senor Remontada in the next phase and chapter of his career. But now another player who seems to be heading towards the exit door in Barca as well is the Brazilian youngster Vitor Roque. Over the course of the weekend, it was discussed that his agent and Barca had actually been in discussions, and actually it was reported that they reached an agreement that Roque would depart the club this summer. However, they had reached an agreement that he was not going to be sold by the club. It was said that they shook hands on the fact that his departure would only be a loan deal, whereby he goes out to another European club to gain some experience, and after which he would be able to come back to Barca and his future would be reassessed. However, that has not stopped offers of a permanent departure coming in for Vitor Roque, because on Tuesday we heard that English Premier League side Everton have actually placed a bid of 25 million euros plus another 3 million euros in add-ons to sign the Brazilian from Barca. And while Barca rejected that deal, it is not for a lack of desire to sell the player. It is said that Barca are actually looking to get more money for the Roque operation. So this is clear that despite reaching an agreement with his agent and family over the weekend that it will only be a loan departure, the club are not opposed to listening to offers that can guarantee some money for Vitor Roque's departure. And clearly now at this point, it seems that Barca are resigned to the fact that they have to make a loss on this transfer, because remember last summer when this deal was reached, when agreement was reached for this deal, Barca actually committed a sum of 30 million euros, which was supposed to rise to 40 and 61 million euros or thereabouts for this transfer. 30 million euros was the guaranteed sum that was paid. Of course, there was also an agreement that a future sell-on clause was going to go to his Brazilian club Atletico Paranaense if Barca sold the player. So if Barca are willing to accept offers in the region of 30 to 35 million euros, that means that of course not all of that money is going to be kept in the club's pockets, because even if they fail to meet up the amortization of his original transfer, of course Atletico Paranaense are still going to be entitled to a portion of whatever transfer fee that Barca are going to generate for the departure of Roque. So at this point in time, it seems like the ship has sailed for Roque at Barca, bro. It seems clearly that there's no confidence in the player from everybody within the club. Xavi didn't count on him, and clearly with the emergence of Pau Victor during the course of this preseason, it is also clear that Hansi Flick seemingly does not count on Vitor Roque as well. So at this point, it seems like a departure is going to be the best solution for all parties at this point in time. But now I have to talk about that game on Monday in the GAMPER Trophy against Monaco. Actually, I should have shared my thoughts about the abysmal performance against Monaco on Monday way before now. But the last couple of days, the last week have been one hell of a ride in my 9 to 5. It have been a crazy few weeks in my 9 to 5. So I haven't really had time to record videos and post, but nonetheless I'm still going to share my thoughts about what I feel about the performance that we put in against Monaco, bro. Because that performance against Monaco, it scarred me, bro. That was shitty in every sense of the word. The only good thing about Monday night in that GAMPER game was actually the events that took place before the kickoff, and that saw the players presented to the fans. The new manager was introduced. Barca's winners with Spain over the course of the summer, the Kubasis, the Yamals, the Fermin Lopez, they were presented with their medals around their neck just to be celebrated by the fans. We also saw the introduction of the new captain, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Those were the only positive signs on Monday, because when the game actually began, it was a shitty performance from beginning to the end of the match. Barca looked every bit a shadow of the team that they have looked during the course of preseason so far. Barca were the typical opposite of what we saw against Man City, against Real Madrid, against Milan during preseason. The Barca I saw on Monday, it reminded me so much of the Barca I saw for a lot of times last season, bro. So it felt like it was a step back. It felt like we went back to the Barca of old, the Barca that we are trying to move away from. It seems like we went back to the same Barca that we've been trying to escape from. Because what was that performance on Monday, bro? Individually, it was flat. As a team, Barca gave a very bad account of themselves. And bro, I know it was just preseason, But regardless of that fact, I know it was a friendly game as well, but the GAMPER Trophy is always an opportunity to show the fans how ready the team is for the beginning of the new season. And with that performance on Monday, bro, we really do not seem ready for the season that is about to start on Saturday, because on Saturday we will be going to the Mestalla to face Valencia, a game which is traditionally a very difficult fixture for all the top sides in La Liga, whether you are Real Madrid, you are Barça, or you are Atletico Madrid. A trip to Mestalla is never easy, and to have that kind of performance just before a trip to Mestalla, man, it gives me a lot of cause for concern, and I'm really hoping that Hansi Flick will definitely address this. The individual performances were poor. We didn't see any form of intensity. The intensity that we've witnessed in the other preseason games, it was absent, and I don't know the excuse for that, because actually the approach that Monaco used in that game on Monday, it was different from any other approach that we've faced over the course of because the games against Milan, the games against Madrid, the games against City, they were all open games, because none of the teams were actually just sitting back and soaking in the pressure. But this was the game plan that Monaco came up with on Monday. And to be honest though, that is what Barca are likely to be coming up against most of the time when the league season resumes, because we have seen it over the years. We've seen it a lot of times that these teams in the Spanish league, they are likely to sit back, especially against Barcelona, playing away at Barcelona. Most teams are likely to sit back and hope to counter, which is what Monaco did to absolute perfection on Monday, and they punished Barca 3 times. It wasn't just a freak, because I would understand losing 2-1, 3-2, or with a scoreline and performance that shows that there was some effort and fight in there. But that performance and scoreline on Monday, it was the exact opposite of the Barca that we would want to see, and I am really worried for that game against Valencia on Saturday. However, on the flip side, I also want to believe that this was a good time for such an accident to happen. I'd like to believe there is an accident, because I'm hoping that it wouldn't be repeating itself, or it wouldn't be the team of the season for Barca. Barca have learned a lot during the course of this preseason. With those games that we played on the US tour, they were decent tests in my opinion, although the opponents we faced, their game approach is quite different from what we are going to be facing a lot in most of the games when La Liga resumes on Saturday. And definitely this game, Barca should learn from this performance against Monaco, because we are definitely going to be facing a lot of similar teams with the same strategy when the league season resumes. And if we're sleeping on that performance against Monaco, it should be used as a wake-up call. And there is no better time for it to happen than before the season starts, because when the season starts, there will be no room for excuses. Only results are going to matter when the season actually starts. So this is actually the best time for such a bump in the road to happen, because the team can then learn from it. And I'm hoping that the team will actually learn from it, because Hansi Flick even said it after the game in his post-match press conference. He said that the performance was not what they expected, but he assured the fans that the performance against Valencia is going to be different. And for everybody's sake, I actually hope that the performance against Valencia is actually not just different, but way better than what we saw out there against Monaco. But now I have to move on to the future of Nico Williams, because at this point, bro, it's getting tiring for me. Even me, the optimist in this pursuit of Nico Williams, I am becoming tired of the whole situation. Previously, we heard that the 12th of August was the deadline for a decision to be made. Now, we are also hearing that the next deadline, or the new deadline, is the 24th of August, which incidentally is the day that Barca and Athletic Club are supposed to face each other in La Liga. So at this point, we had 12, now 24th. It doesn't make sense to me, bro, because over the weekend, it was reported by Sport, which they are not the most reliable source, to be honest, but the journalist who reported that is actually a journalist who is very reliable. But other top journalists have come out to debunk those reports that Nico Williams has actually said yes to a move to Barca, but it was shut down by Fabrizio Romano and Gerard Romero. So of course, it is left to be seen what will happen. But what followed after those reports is the shocking thing for me, bro, because on Monday, the first news I saw when I scrolled through my phone was the fact that Nico Williams has taken the number 10 shirt at Athletic Club, bro. I don't see a player who is planning to leave making that move, bro. Because at this point, it seems like Williams is just clowning Barca, bro. He has taken the number 10 shirt from Iker Muniain. So Williams is the new number 10 at Athletic Club. So a player who is intending to leave, I don't see him making that move, because a number 10 shirt for any club is a significant number. And if Williams took that number, bro, right now I feel like the chances of signing Williams are becoming slim, bro. It hasn't been officially confirmed that Williams is not going to join Barca this summer, but with everything that has been going on in the past few days, all signs point to the fact that Barca could be better served looking for alternatives to the signing of Nico Williams when it comes to the left winger position. And now we've heard that Barca are actually looking for those alternatives. Certain names have popped up in the media, from the likes of Rafael Leao to Luis Diaz to Kingsley Coman. At this point, any idea of signing Rafael Leao, bro, if you are having dreams that Rafael Leao is going to be the left wing signing for Barca this season, bro, trash that, because it is very much unfeasible at this point, bro. We have been struggling to complete a deal for Williams, because even if Williams actually wanted to come, with what I'm hearing, it seems like Barca didn't even have the finances to make it happen. Dani Olmo has been signed and he hasn't even been registered before the first game of La Liga. Maybe he will be registered on Friday or just before kickoff on Saturday. But as at this moment, Dani Olmo has not been registered. So it seems like all the promises that Laporta has been making, that Barca's finances are in a healthy place, it seems it's all nonsense, bro. I think it's just make-believe, just trying to sell us dreams that are not even in existence. So at this point, a signing of Rafael Leao is clearly unfeasible, bro, because if we are struggling to reach a deal or to pay the release clause of 58 million euros for Nico Williams at Athletic Club, do you think that we are going to be able to afford 100+ million euros to sign Rafael Leao from AC Milan? And now the next on that list is Luis Diaz from Liverpool. He has been linked with a move to Barca as well. We also heard earlier in the summer that he was the preferred target of Deco for the left wing position. But at this point, it seems like Liverpool would be demanding a similar fee to what we are going to pay for Nico for the acquisition of Luis Diaz. And I have to wonder why, because I don't see Diaz as a player who is worth that amount of money. Not because he's not a good player. Mind you, Diaz is actually a quality player. He's a decent left winger, but I think he is at 27. It is quite a risk to invest that kind of money on a potential signing of Luis Diaz, because despite the fact that he's also 27, I think his end product leaves a lot to be desired. Nico is way younger, even though he has a lot of room for improvement, but Nico is way younger and he can still grow. He has a higher ceiling than someone like Diaz, who his end product leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm not really sure of committing upwards of 60 million euros to a potential signing of Diaz, bro. And then there's another option of Kingsley Coman, who has played under Hansi Flick in the past at Bayern Munich. In fact, he scored the winning goal in the 2020 Champions League final against PSG. So he is a player that has actually played under our new manager to good effect as well. But there are also the problems with his high wages, bro, because he said that he will be available on a loan deal from Bayern this summer, but his wages are super high. So at this point, we did something that Barca would be able to afford. So the alternatives are beginning to come up as the transfer window develops, because mind you, by the end of this month, the transfer window is going to close. So Barca are running out of time to strengthen that position. In my opinion, I think a low-cost option would do for this point in time, because right now all the options that are popping up, they really do not convince me, bro. I wouldn't spend a shitload of money on Luis Diaz, and Coman's injury record and his high wages also give me some doubt over committing to a deal for Coman. Because Rafael Leao, I don't even want to talk about it again, because it is clear we can't afford Leao this summer. Maybe in the future, if Barca actually returns to a healthier financial position, then we can start dreaming of signings like Rafael Leao. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think of Barca's preparations for the new season? With that performance in the GAMPER Trophy, do you see Barca challenging for the La Liga title this season? What are your thoughts on the departure of Sergi Roberto? And who would be your pick for the left wing position if Barca had to look for an alternative to Nico Williams? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notification bell so that whenever I drop you shall be notified. And most importantly, please do not forget to smash that subscribe button. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça, and I'll see you on the next video. Adios.